So I'm picking up on energy right now that there is some type of cognitive dissonance. If you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's basically it's the feeling of discomfort of having two or more moral values, beliefs, morals, values, or beliefs that contradict one another. And in the collective, there is a cognitive dissonance. And what I am getting right now is that somebody thought that you were something else, but the whole time you weren't. And what I mean by that is they thought that you were playing games, maybe, to a certain extent, but the whole time you were being yourself. And so you weren't being seen how you were supposed to be seen. You weren't being seen how um, you know who you are and how God sees you. And the whole point of this dissonance, the disconnect is that you are this loving person, you are this kind person, you show up for everybody, you often give more than you receive. Oftentimes you don't get nothing. When it comes to reciprocity, you're always just there, you know? And the love you give is never reciprocated. And so, and by turn, maybe this collective maybe were fond of you at first. Maybe they did see your light, your greatness, but we all know that all good things come to an end when your heart is not in the right place, when it's supposed to be postured towards God. And so what ended up happening probably is some type of resentment or envy started to be projected onto you, because what happens is projection is we tend to project ourselves onto other people. So if you believe something that you are not capable of, you're going to try to belittle somebody else and project it onto them. Say if somebody has like a business idea, like, oh yeah, I'm a do so and so and so and so, but you notice that there's never really like a genuine like excitement about it. It's like they push it to the side and try to make it about themselves or something like that. If you ever deal with that, that is rooted off the doubt that they have in themselves, because they think in their mind that, oh, if I start up a business, it's not going to be successful. So why? What makes you different? Look, God created all of us differently. There, like I always say, we are all unique, but are you authentic? Okay, so you can't be like everybody else. You can't be stagnant like everybody else. And with that is just the simple fact that envy comes from that, because you have this drive, you have this ambition, and people want to put that down, push that aside, and that's not you. And the thing about you, you don't actually let nobody influence the way you think about yourself, and that very fact is the reason why that irritates, I'll say, demons, in which it really is, because we wrestle not with flesh and blood, which is Ephesians 6:12. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with spiritual principalities and evils, rulers in higher places. Okay, everything happens in the spiritual before they manifest in the physical. So if somebody is coming at you with envious energy, know that it had been festered up in the spiritual and got projected into reality. And that's why you see the behavior that you see amongst people, whether it is envy, hatred, resentment, pride. Let me tell you something. A side note, pride and jealousy and envy, the spirit of pride, jealousy, envy, runs deep in today's society, because everybody always wants to one up another instead of showing up and giving love. And that's not how God intended us to be, but unfortunately, the devil has his hold on a lot of people unknowingly too. And it's sad because not a lot of people know they're under demonic possession until they get delivered by God. Because Jesus saves, God saves. And kids, the whole point of the matter is this disconnect. Well, at the very beginning, I said, I had mentioned, that's what I want to get back onto. They thought you were a master manipulator. And again, it does all tie into what I'm about to say for what was already said. Projection. So people label you as a narcissist. You probably got called a liar. You probably got called a manipulator. But here's the thing, these words never came out your mouth. Watch what people say. Because if you really read in between the lines, again, they are projecting. So what does that tell you? They must be a narcissist. They must be a manipulator. Right? Okay. So, because that greatness that they saw within you at first, when they maybe when you first met, and it turned from admiration to envy, right? They now made it their mission. They had probably made it their mission to bring you down to their level. Because again, business idea example, they don't believe that they can do it themselves, so they're going to therefore project themselves onto you and say that you can't do it. But yeah, this is my train of thought here. Yeah, whole point is the games, the manipulations. Yes, back on track. They really thought this loving energy was manipulation. And those who are, I want to say, people don't like, I know this phrase is very maybe condescending, but chosen, God's anointed, God's anointed or his prophets, you know, those who are in the prophetic, those who are anointed, right? I saw this post the other day. The favored, people who are favored aren't celebrated. They're targeted. And so when you see that glory of God shining on you, your light just shining oh so bright, you know, shining oh so bright. People can see that. People, you have aura, is what they say. You have this aura about you, and it's noticeable. Even as much as you try to shrink your light, which we should not do. God said don't shrink your light for nobody, but instead shine it for his glory to be shown. But whenever we do shrink our light, it's like we're a magnet. It's like magnetism. No matter if you try to be in the cut, lay low, somebody's going to gravitate towards you. And we can't help that. And when people see that, ooh, the ones who are possessed, who don't have their heart posture right, ooh, that invigorates them with anger, resentment, because they want that attention. Narcissists, the spirit of narcissist, this narcissist spirit is a Jezebel spirit. You know, because Jezebel, let's go back. Jezebel was a manipulator. She lied, right? She got was it Naboth? Naboth killed for his vineyard. That host, I can't think of it right now, but the king in which she was under, manipulated to where she can get Naboth's vineyard. And so really, narcissists, look at it like this. What do they like? They like attention. They seek validation. They seek many things, right? And this really stems from like a childhood place. Maybe they were put on a pedestal when they were younger. Maybe they might have been like the oldest child. I know when it comes to being the oldest, you mentally have to you feel like you have to be that example, right? And whether it's a good example or a bad example, you are showing the younger ones the mistakes that you should not make and the things that you should do. And so it all ties in. But still, point is, this narcissistic spirit causes cognitive dissonance. And they were so in disbelief because they never felt this type of love before. It doesn't even have to be intimate love that you give onto people. This is you're selfless. You probably are a very selfless individual. You probably, like I said, show up all the time, and that is foreign. And people hate what they don't understand. People target what they don't understand. People mislabel what they don't understand. Okay. Because here's the thing, this manipulative energy are so used to having their way with people, probably, they thought you were playing games and deceiving and love bombing and doing all these things. But here's the simple thing, they never had that type of love. Your your heart is postured in the right place. And simply um First John verses 7 and 8 basically says that for God is love, and those who know love know God, for God is of love. And those who know of not love know not God, for God is love. So I'm paraphrasing. Those who don't understand this feeling don't understand God, because to understand you is to understand God, is to know God. Because when you are around godly people, you know that is of God. You know the godly energy that people bring when you get around other anointed ones, right? And so you have discernment, okay? A lot of people are spiritually dead and they lack discernment, and there's and what they call as discernment, their sense of judgment is clouded because it's not it's not in the I'm having brain fart here, it's not that in the light of God. Their judgment is rooted from Satan, essentially. It's rooted from evil. It's rooted from darkness, because again they project, and that's why this cognitive dissonance went so far. Not even within this individual, they probably wanted to create this as a on a bigger scale. So what they felt, they projected not only onto you, but they projected that your character that they have in their mind, that's the cognitive dissonance, that's the disconnect. You who you know who you are, and this whole it feels like a movie. It feels like a made up movie character in their head. It's crazy. They are tripping on a person who does not exist. And it's very concerning, because I'm just like, yo, I know whoever this message is for, I know you are not like that. And maybe they because a narcissist loves to control a way a person feels. They like to get under people's skin. But if you're a person who doesn't pay no mind to that, they have to try a little bit harder to get your attention, when really they're the ones who seek that attention. So you give them that, even that little bit of attention, it gives them life. It gives them life. There are so many components to narcissism, and it's kind of scary, because when it comes to the narcissistic spirit, a lot of things, there are layers on layers on layers. And so they mistaken, because you are one of God's anointed, and you probably are a person who is in the prophetic. If you don't know you're in the prophetic, you pick up on energies, you pick up on, you can see, you're a seer, you can see things in the spiritual, in the land, amongst the land of the living. You actively, not actively, but passively, I should say, you passively see into the spiritual. And so you can read people like a book. You see right through the plan to this deception, and they're probably used to somebody who is not prophetically gifted. I hate to put it like that, but again, a lot of people are spiritually dead. They're used to dealing with worldly people, and so the same tactics that they're used to getting all their life, they never met nobody like you, and because of that, you are a Decepticon in their eyes, but really they're the Decepticons, because they're of the world. And so now I'm gonna wrap this up really, really soon. And because you are very much intuitive, spiritually in tune, aligned with God, your intelligence, because you know the spirit of wisdom comes from who? God. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I pray for those every day, and so should you, and I'm sure you do. But we all know, even if you don't, you have this spiritual tree of knowledge, that just wisdom that just comes out of nowhere. You get downloads. Thank you. I'm sorry. Downloads. You just get spiritual downloads constantly all the time. You just be in the know without even having like proof. But God is your proof. Even though people don't see the relationship that we have with God, that's more than enough proof. And nine times out of 10, we're usually right because of the God that we serve, right? I want to say 10 times out of 10, 10 out of 10, but if it's God, he's not going to lie to you. But discern, you got to be able to discern, because you got your voice, you got the devil's voice, and you got God's voice. But your intelligence, that wisdom that God also gives you, was labeled as manipulation. But no, because their tactics weren't working, they called you a manipulator. They tried to manipulate you so bad. They found that you weren't bending to their will, all the little schemes and things that they were doing that you did not pay no mind to. See, narcissist wants to be worshipped. Idolatry. That's like the third commandment. If not, I don't know them in order, but I know I know them all. That's not the point of the video, but idolatry is one of the 10 commandments, and to be worshipped is to commit idolatry. Putting yourself on a pedestal, because narcissists do put themselves on the pedestal. They think they deserve it because they're just that's just how they got it all their life. But no, you're not like that. And so your intelligence was labeled as manipulation, but it's like, no, if you call things how you see it for what it is. So it's like you're not playing into that. It's like they think there was this psychological warfare going on the whole time because of this character that they have of you in their head. They think that you're playing games. But that's not you. And maybe your personality doesn't match your appearance at all, okay? Maybe your voice doesn't match your appearance at all. I don't know. And that probably confuses people too. Because a lot of times when it comes to the anointed, we attract narcissists. We attract evil spirits. And it's because they're interested in the light that we have. So whoever I'm talking to, whoever this message resonates with, let me know. But just remember, the light attracts the light, but it also attracts the darkness too. But I love y'all. God bless. Subscribe if you're new, for more content like this. I got everything in the description. Support the channel if you want to. And yeah, like, comment, share. Whoever may again resonates with. And remember, I love you. God bless. And remember, it's impact over influence, baby.